I've got a good story, actually. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. We'll edit it out if not, probably.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, let's just tell it and then we can decide, because it's like a bit naughty. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ride Companion, episode 47. That's right, 47 of these you've sat through. Hopefully, maybe you've sat through, maybe you've just started. If you've just started, welcome aboard. My name's Olly Wilkins, and I'm here with...
My name's Davey. We don't use the last name,
don't
use
the flow. Because it doesn't flow and it sounds like Burke.
Exactly, it doesn't flow, it sounds like Burke. So that is me, ladies and gentlemen, and can we just take a moment to respect the drip? I've come in with the fresh Anaheim 2005 t-shirt.
Nice.
You like that, don't you?
Where'd you get that from? The frickin' parking lot?
Mate, yeah, this is an official merchandise from 2005, and I've seen...
Is it actually?
People, yeah. So I've seen that people have started to wear these like old school tees a little bit, right? And I was like, I've got one of those kicking around at home, so I made a special trip up to my old house, dug it out. It's got some mould on the shoulders, but apart from that, man, she's sweet. I like
Moulders. I like it, yeah.
Got some mould on the shoulders. It's gone a little bit yellow. It's been in a cupboard for however many years that is. Never worn it, ever.
Mate, I think it looks great. And I
respect the drip.
And also, yeah, I do respect the drip. And also, does it mean that you literally sold the very last Ride Companion t-shirt off your own back?
Yeah, someone's got a sweaty one.
Are we sold out?
Someone's opened the bag and gone, I think this has been worn. It's covered in cat hair. Yeah, man, we did sell out, actually.
We're sold out.
We are 100% sold out of merch. So
big thanks to everyone.
Massive thank you to everyone. Shit's
Dude,
crazy.
we sold out of coffee.
Got a couple of coffees left. There's one here.
Couple of coffees left.
Yeah, 2 or 3, maybe 4 actually. 4 bags of coffee left. Yeah,
4 bags of coffee. All right, there we go. We'll get them done.
We'll get them.
I'll put a post up in a bit. Yeah.
All right, we'll get them gone. But
yeah, fantastic! Real success, great success. Well done.
Great success. Ready for the next.
Well done, team. Well done, team. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it.
I'd love to know what our listeners think as well. Whether people want like small runs of stuff and they're like more inside jokey, or whether, do you know what I mean? Whether where we should go with it. Whether we should.
I do always feel kind of bad because already there's been a bunch of DMs and stuff off people that are like, "Yo, you sold out already. I've listened to the podcast 2 days late and already I can't get a t-shirt." So it's like, do we need to keep some stuff as like a stock item that we always carry, like the splatter tee or something like that? We just always
stock memorabilia,
always leave that. I think the coffee's probably going to be something that we'll always have in stock, because I feel like
coffee's good, man.
You don't want to like, I mean, for me as well, like you don't buy it once. When you find one that you like, you want to just go back and grab another. And this one's good bag
as well. Our one is good. And not even being, obviously we used really a roaster and we tested, but he's really good in it.
Yeah. So I feel like that's got to be sort of something that we just keep there. Maybe.
Yeah, good idea, dude. Yeah. All right. We'll get like a basic stock level of make the store, and then we can do like limited runs and one-offs.
I've been talking to a few people this week about last week. It's only Monday. Jeez. Hats. So I've been looking at a cap. You mentioned doing one of those specific style. They're really hard to get.
Yeah.
I feel like I might have found someone who can pull that off for us.
Really?
Yeah, man. We're coming in with the top hat.
I like how we just start this just like a meeting.
Yeah, sorry.
It's just like a meeting about merch.
Yeah, but everyone else is as much a part of this as we are. So,
too right. And thanks very much for the support to every person that listens, sits through it. Sticks with us.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, man.
Dude, turns out we roll pretty deep as well. I've just come back from Germany, and there was so many people talking to me about the podcast in Germany.
Really?
Yeah. How cool is that?
That is really cool.
It was wicked. Always really good to hear. Yeah.
I know this is like and I want to come back to the Germany thing for sure. I want to talk about the Dirt Masters thing.
Yes.
But it is. I found it like it was really humbling. Obviously, I've picked and packed all this merch, so it's personally we do it. We're pretty hands on here, so I'm picking and packing it all. And I was like printing off the packing labels, and I'm like, wow, like that guy's in like, I don't know, Folkestone, and then the next one you're like, oh, that guy, that person is in like Aberdeen, and you just it was like really humbling to be like, wow, like we're really sort of like spread all over the place, and we only have like UK shipping at the moment, not European. So yeah, we've got to work on the not to get this back into a meeting, but we've got to get the international shipping figured out.
We'll get it sorted out.
Reach out.
Yeah, too right.
Various countries and stuff. So anyway, let's talk Dirt Masters, dude, and anything else that you want to talk about.
Let's just talk, basically just talking. That is essentially what a podcast is, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up. We've not spoken for a minute, so
no, we haven't. It's good that way sometimes. I think though, despite starting podcasts with meetings, I think it is good. Right?
Yeah, we have to take every opportunity we can now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I've just come back from Dirt Masters. So have you ever been to Dirt Masters yourself?
No, never. No, and I feel like. Straight off the bat, I want to ask you this. Is it the same time every year? Because I feel like this has come around really fast.
It does feel like it, doesn't it? I think it was later last year.
Okay.
My man Benzie will be able to hook us up with more information on that, no doubt, because he was there last year, of course. He was sorely missed.
Yeah, Benzie's in studio as well, folks, so big up Benzie.
Big up Benzie. Benny was, Benny was missed. Loads of people asking after you, asking where you were. Well, it's good, yeah.
Were they actually?
Yeah, big time, dude.
Oh god,
you were missed. But yeah, Dirt Masters is a great time, and I've been going to it for years and years actually, because it was probably one of the first like events I did for DMR where I remember doing it. It was like the first event abroad that I had to kind of do like my brand manager role.
Okay, you know, right? What? So you went and worked for DMR sort of thing.
Yeah. So I had basically I just drove there with a van full of like, we weren't selling at the first one I did, I don't think, but I was quite young and I just had a van full of product on stands that I had made, and I just had to sit there and talk to people about product. And then,
so is it like a trade show still? Is that still the vibe as well?
It is, yeah, it is indeed. But obviously Germany's like a giant mountain bike market, like actually the biggest. I think it's like North America and Germany are the two giants. Yeah. And so every year went from a young age, I'd have to go over to, because Germany's DMR's largest distributor.
Is it really?
Outside of the UK? Yeah, so I'd go over and hang out with the guys at Cosmic Sports who still do DMR.
Wow.
And it was really cool actually back then, because it was like they became really good friends and they would take me out for dinners, and because otherwise I was just like quite young and stupid and in another country with very little money. So I ended up having real good friendships with those guys, and they're still there now. And yeah, so you end up with a load of friends over there from the years of going to that event. It's wicked. And the event itself is a giant festival. It has everything from enduro racing, downhill racing, whip-off, slopestyle. It's the site of Red Bull Bergline. Do you remember that?
No, I don't think I do.
Sam Reynolds, Andrea Laconda guy going head-to-head with double flip runs. It was like...
Wow.
Back in the day, yeah, it was like I think it was a gold or maybe a platinum event.
Okay.
But Dirt Masters is sick. And if you've never experienced German MTB fans, it's quite something. We'll have to get you along next year, Davey. I mean...
Oh, man, I'm in, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like... I know, obviously, we obviously talk quite a lot off-air. And this was just one of those where I didn't even know you were going. And I seen the Insta post of, like, Sam and you and Deeks. And I was like, where the fuck are you... What? Where are you going?
Yeah,
and then
I know.
Message you, and I was like, oh, mate, I didn't even know you were going. Otherwise, I might have been like, yo, is there a space? And I might have jumped in, but...
Yeah, sorry, I should have actually said. We like...
That's how good.
We're idiots, man. We're idiots. We just... It's been organised for a long time, and it's just in the calendar. It's one of those. So
yeah,
went over.
Year, dude, would love a trip. How have you seen the event change like over the years? Obviously, started going there, and I guess like mountain biking's changed significantly since you probably started going with the emergence of enduro or slopestyle more or whatever. So yeah, have you noticed it changing quite a bit?
It's changed massively. It was like when I first went there, it was. I mean, to be honest, they've had to tone it down because it got out of hand. They used to have like this like camping area, and it turned into NAS, and it turned into it was like zombie apocalypse. There was like tents on fire. They blew up 2 cars. That's when they decided to stop doing it. But it had this like giant festival atmosphere, and it was really quite crazy. I think, like NAS back in the day, I think. It started off with like a action sports crowd, and then ended up with a much broader audience and people who were just there to like drink, take drugs, and listen to music. which is cool, but it comes with its own set of problems, and I think that's what Dirt Masters experienced. So now it's just, I mean, it's fucking massive. The crowds are massive.
Really? I did see a little clip of maybe Whip Off. I can't remember who posted it. Someone posted it, and the course was lined like all the way down, and obviously at the end there was just people high fiving. Yeah, you could tell it was a pretty big event for sure. Yeah,
it was really good. It was really good. I was gonna race the downhill, do the Whip Off, and I can't remember. Sam was just gonna enter me into a load of stuff, and then at the last minute the entries got pulled and we couldn't. I went to do Whip Off and it was too windy. You know, though, it was like one of them. It was like a bit windy and a bit crap weather, but such a good atmosphere.
Okay.
I've got a good story, actually. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell it or not. Yeah.
Yeah, so, you are. We'll edit it out if not, probably.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, let's just tell it and then we can decide, because it's like a bit naughty. I don't know.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm obviously there, and I've been told I can't race. So all the other boys are racing, so I aid them with their race, and otherwise I just do laps on the chairlift, because the hill's tiny, but the lifts are really good. Amazing lift system, loads of trails. You can just bomb around doing laps, and like German bike fans
right?
Winterberg, yeah. It's near Willingham, where they held a World Cup years ago. But anyway, yeah, they're small hills. They're not very big, but they've got amazing facilities. So I'm just doing that, and I've looked a tiny bit at the downhill track, but not really paid much attention. The other boys are doing their practice, and then I will meet up and go for laps, whatever. It gets to seeding day, and Sam's like, dude, I've got these tickets for the Nürburgring. And Sam Reynolds, to those who don't know, he's a massive motorsports fan. Like, Sam Reynolds he likes biking, but he loves car racing, you know?
Yeah.
So Sam's desperate to go to Nürburgring, and he gets his seeding time through, and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when he's meant to be at the Nürburgring. He's got hookups with a car tire company. They've got him tickets. You know, like, it's a big opportunity for him. He loves fucking cars.
Yeah. It's 24-hour race as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the 24-hour race. That's right. Yeah. So it's quite something. I think when you go to a motorsports event, I'm always like, well, even from the Formula One tour we did, quite blown away at the size of stuff. They seem to do things properly. Some money floating around, isn't there? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, just to add a quick thingy to that, what I did realise over the weekend, and we can come back to this, but like everything else, any factory tour forever now is going to be a total disappointment.
Innit? It's tough. It is tough.
Everything. It's done. Anyway.
What are we going to do? What factory is there going to be that's better?
Well, I was thinking of it from a point of, like working with certain brands over the years, you often get invited to go, come to the factory, have a look around. You're always going to be like,
see them, some mouldy old paint shop.
Yeah. And even like hospitals now are going to look dirty.
Poor branding in this hospital. Gosh.
Yeah. Anyway,
right. So basically Sam needs someone to do a seeding run. If he doesn't have a seeding run, he doesn't get a race run. So your boy over here has to pretend he's Sam Reynolds and do the seeding run. So I had to do the seeding run I didn't know where to go. Like, I hadn't seen the track, so I didn't know. I knew approximately where it went, but I hadn't ever. I mean, I'd never seen whole sections of the track. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So you blind rode it.
Yeah. So I come up to the top for my start time, and I get a dude comes up to me, and he's pissed. He's like, "Olly, why are you entering this class? It's the unlicensed class category." And like, I'm trying to just keep him quiet, because the fucking dude's watching. That's the commissaire, he's watching. I'm like, oh god, right, okay. Try and calm this down. I'm just like, dude, don't worry, I'm not racing. He's like, what do you mean? I'm not racing, all right. I haven't seen the track. I don't know what I'm doing. Just don't worry about it. Sam Reynolds, yep, okay, just come in. So I walk up into the start hut. Oh man, and I had to do the season.
That's so good.
It was like I felt like a spy, dude. I was in the hut. Yeah, I felt like I was going to get found out any moment, because if you think about it, it's actually like,
it's all good, innit? It doesn't matter really.
Well, I don't know. It's bad. It's like a UCI race. It's like the equivalent of me entering like the youth category. Like I wouldn't have even been in that category. First of all, I should have a race license, and secondly, I should be in my age category. I'm too old for Sam's category. It's only seeding; it doesn't matter. But
no, No one listens to this anyway.
It was good though. Oh no. It was good though. I honestly felt like a spy. Yeah. So then I just did this blind run down the downhill track and put in a time.
What was quicker, your seeding time or his race time?
His race time, yes. I can't bomb that quick without knowing what's there really. It wasn't a bad time. I don't really know.
That's funny. I like it. A good story.
It's good though. Yeah, I felt properly like a spy. So I did spy racing.
Yeah. So you didn't do anything else though? No whip off or nothing?
Well, we went to the whip off. We all lined up for the whip off, and then it was just violently windy.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah, and you just like, I don't know. I'm not really up for those crashes these days, wind crashes. And you have there were very few people riding, and they were very young and enthusiastic. You know, I wasn't alone in not riding it. Me, Deeks, Sam Reynolds, Sam Pilgrim. A lot of people didn't want to crash on it. It just felt a bit pointless, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. What? So Pilgs was out there. What was it like being around Pilgs this time? Has the stardom gone even bigger than the last time you said you went out there with him, where you can't even be around him?
No, it couldn't go any bigger. It's just constant, and he's so good. You know, hats off to Pilg. Well, actually, he should take his fucking hat off because fewer people would ask for pictures. They don't recognise him. We were joking about bringing a helmet bag along so we can just have him near us and just put the helmet bag over his head so that no one knows.
Stick. Yeah. The Stig of mountain biking, Sam Pilgrim.
It was gnarly though. It is gnarly, but he's amazing. He's got time for everyone, and he's a real pro. Pilg. He does a cracking job because it can't be easy. You know, like he was lying down asleep, and someone wakes him up for a photo. Can you imagine that?
Oh mate, I can't imagine that, to be honest. I can't imagine that. Fair play to the guy.
But it's brilliant. Everyone's so enthusiastic.
Love to get him on here, man. We need to get him on here.
We do need to get Pilg on here, actually. Yeah, I'll message him right now because
we do need to get him on here. That'd be cool, man. Be nice to chat.
Yeah,
Sam.
Too right.
But we could throw him an invite to Freedom Ride as well, couldn't we?
I already have.
Fair. Okay.
We shall see.
Imagine. Yeah, those weekends are tough. Oh dear. So you drove out there, drove back. You go in the Deaconator wagon?
I went in the Deaconator wagon. Deaconator had his first year exhibiting. That's right, Oi Oi clothing.
International.
Oi Oi International. A British. His new tagline is a British shouting company, which I think is quite good.
I like that.
Yeah,
the loudest brand in the paddock.
Yeah,
for sure.
I tell you, yeah. I mean, Deeks is also very famous in Germany.
Really,
very famous indeed. And everywhere you go,
Oi Oi in Germany is the same, I think.
No, Oi Oi is different in Germany. It doesn't. They're not connected. There's an OI space OI because in England it's very much Oi Oi, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Whereas in Germany it's Oi Oi.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's two of them, There's two. They're not slurred together.
There you go. So Deeks has gone international with Oi Oi. That's cool.
Yeah, Deeks has gone international. Yeah, he had his stand and he had his business partner, Ben, out there selling T-shirts.
Did it go well?
Went well. I think they're flying off the shelf. Germans loved it.
That's sick. Good on him. I'm hyped for Mr. Deaconator on that.
And Deeks got himself a second place finish.
Did he?
Yeah, he was on the podium.
What, the downhill?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, last time I saw him in his category. But yeah.
What category is he right?
Pro Masters.
There you go. Yeah. All right. OnlyFans category.
But yeah, Deeks got a second. It's rad hanging out with Deeks at a race because he is like a proper racer. He really cares and really he does try. He loves it. He absolutely loves racing.
That's good. Good on him. It makes good content as well. I think it is really relatable, isn't it? That's the thing as well. I feel like if he didn't do the racing, it wouldn't be as good.
He's there busting out laps on his own, checking out lines and stuff. He would drive the whole way on his own to do the race. That's how much he loves it. It's sick. Yeah. Gets his
long drive. What are we talking?
Quite simply, much too long for me.
I don't know where Winterberg is.
What is it, like 12 hours? It was much too much for me. Tough.
So straight out of there yesterday, Sunday.
Straight out of there, and I didn't even drive. I just sat in the car, but I'm still knackered. Big up to
Like
Carl.
I say, it's weird. It's tough, man. It's the brain thing. Your brain isn't used to going 70 mile an hour.
Yeah.
So as soon as you do that for a consistent amount of time, your body's just like, what is going on? How are we going this? I mean, we used to walk places, right? Like that's what it was. That's how we evolved.
That is the correct
walking.
speed for a human brain.
Yeah, you
isn't
take
it, really?
things in, you look around, whereas you go in that speed. That's why you get worn out. I'm pretty sure. There's no science
It's actually
to back that
much
up at
too
all, but
much.
it seems right.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. All of it makes sense. If you think about the internet, it's just too much.
I feel like when you are a passenger, obviously I've done that trip, like I said to you in messages, a lot like that over the thing, over the tunnel or under the tunnel or whatever, over the ferry or whatever. But like, even if someone else is driving the whole way, you just sat there in the passenger seat, you're equally as tired by the end of it as the person driving, especially in a modern vehicle, right? You just slip cruise control on anyway, don't you? And you just cruise, but like, you're equally as knackered. It's weird.
Do you know, we had daggers as well during our journey. We had traffic on the way out, and you know how hard traffic is. Traffic is, if you're doing a 20-minute journey, traffic is annoying, right? If you're doing a journey that you know is 12 hours and you get stuck in traffic in in 3 hours in. Serious, like 3 hours in, and you know you've got all of that to go.
Yeah, it's tough.
Not the one, dude. Yeah.
No, not the one at all. Again, been there, done that many a time. Don't like it. Not a fan of the old travelling anymore, dude. To be honest.
Not.
I'm not travelling this week at all myself. Got a little issue with the supercar, so thankfully it made it to the Red Bull thing because I feel like it's got some issues. So yeah, I made it down there. There was a little bit of a noise coming from the axle, but it looks like it's fully fucked now. So
oh no,
yeah, managed
dude,
to get
we got to get you a ride companion car. At what point?
Do we get a company car?
Yeah, at what point? You need it, dude. You need it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm sure at some point we can figure something out. I just need to bite the bullet. I just need to stop being a fucking idiot. It's like, I need a nice vehicle, but I just don't bother. I don't go in many places anymore, so it's tough. I don't know. That's a story for another day, that's for sure.
It is weird that, though. The world's got smaller, I think, for most people.
100%.
Maybe people disagree, but I think the world has got smaller.
Yeah, and vehicles are tough at the moment, man. If anyone trying to buy a vehicle will know they're not easy to come by. They're really expensive. But then there's certain things that they're almost giving away. Like deals on Ford Rangers at the minute are pretty wild. You can get a really, really cheap Ford Ranger at the minute.
Newies or what?
Yeah, a fresh one. It's got to be a fresh one. But I don't know. I always feel like with that though, there must be something coming, like price increase or something. Fuel's obviously expensive. They just can't get rid of them, so they do these crazy finance deals. And that, to be honest, I wanted to mention that because I've got this sneaking feeling that things are going to get a little bit worse. You know, we spoke about that cost of living crisis, the stuff that I've seen, man, and that I don't know, just certain podcasts that I listen to that are talking about it a little bit more. I think people should just be mindful of that. And, you know, we've got a relatively big audience. And I think the first time that we spoke about it, people were like, you know, thanks. Like, it's good to be aware of. But I think...
How do you mean specifically? Energy prices and stuff or what?
I think food shortages are going to be the one that's going to be a bit of a...
Really? What because of?
So there's a really, really good video that I think people should watch. There was a guy... He was on Joe Rogan a while ago. He's got a YouTube channel called Bright Insight, and he does sort of what does he do? Sort of ancient Egypt videos. He does videos about lost civilizations and stuff like that. This guy really doesn't.
A history guy.
He's a history guy. Exactly. Great way of summing up what I was trying to say. He's a history guy. And anyway, he put this video up, basically like breaking down why we're going to have food shortages and why he's like raising the alarm. And it was really interesting because the video came up on my YouTube algorithm and he doesn't post this sort of stuff ever. It's always like the lost history of blah, 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 Tutankhamun, whatever it could be, right?
Yeah.
And this video was like a bit clickbaity. He's like, I want to sound the alarm. Anyway, so I was like, oh, it's interesting. I'll watch it. And he basically broke it all down as to sort of like, so the lockdowns have had a massive impact, especially in China and stuff, because obviously things haven't been able to leave. A lot of ingredients for food, a lot of stuff like that. Obviously there's a war going on, which is pushing the price of fuel up, which is obviously a big, what would you call it? A big...
Right, so that's for like shipping all of the food.
Yeah. So then there was all these other lockdowns have meant that ships have been sat on the water, not been able to come into docks, and a lot of ingredients have gone off. Like they're literally not even fit for consumption anymore. In America, I mean, this is talking about America as well, but you're already seeing that there's like a baby formula shortage. Have you seen that? Which is kind of scary. Okay, so there's a baby formula shortage, which is obviously really scary. If you can't breastfeed, you need baby formula, and that I can't remember what the exact reasons for that is.
Can't you just get them Diet Coke or whatever?
Probably, yeah. Just put them in a field or something. Let them eat the grass. Sorry, just let me text my dad.
Humans are useless in that respect, aren't they?
Yeah, and he was just like breaking down all these reasons why there's going to be a food shortage, and a lot of it goes down to an increase in fuel prices, which means farmers can't afford to transport fuel, which means the cost of goods becomes way too much. And I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if I told you this story the other week when we spoke to our local farmer that my girlfriend buys her hay off for the horse. Did I tell you that story?
No.
Okay, so we literally go to the farm like normal, and it was about a month ago, and it hadn't rained for a while, I don't think. So Emma said to the farmer,
Did she say? Yeah.
This is a really boring story, but I find it really interesting. So Emma said to the farmer, is the hay going to be okay for next year? Because we've not had much rain and stuff. Obviously, she relies on the hay, food for the horse, and also they use it to feed cattle and whatever.
Yeah.
And the farmer was like, yeah, there's not going to be any hay next year at all. Period. Forget about it. And she's like, oh, fucking hell. Like, why? He goes, well, I can't afford fertilizer because we buy fertilizer through Russia, so it's made from Russian gas. So he was saying he's got one of those big vats outside the farm. You've seen those massive silos that with fertilizer. He goes, well, see that silo there? Last year that was 10 grand to fill up. That's what he budgets, 10 grand. He says this year that would cost me 90,000 quid to fill that silo. So I can't afford to buy fertilizer. So obviously that knock-on effect then is going to, hopefully not, filter down to, fertilizer for fruit, vegetables.
Yeah, understood. Yeah,
produce.
No, it's crazy, isn't it?
So I think I don't know, man. It's something, definitely watch that video. Again, this guy's sounding the alarm from an American perspective, but and I don't know if it's exactly the same in the UK, but it's funny, dude, because I've been to the supermarket a few times recently and come out and gone, that was weird. There's not much in there. And I don't know if people are aware of that or if it's just a bad timing issue on my part. I don't know. But there seems to be rumblings of something.
No, really, I haven't noticed anything, dude. Head in the sand.
Actually bad going on. So yeah, I think definitely watch the video. It's on Bright Insight, breaking down the reasons why we're going to have food shortages. And the cost of living is going to keep going up. It's not going to get any better for a little while. So there you go. That's morbid.
That's bright and cheery, isn't it? It's bright and cheery. Yeah. On the plus side, I'm growing. All I'm growing is lettuce and mint this year.
Nice.
I've decided to sort of slim down my attempts because they're always quite lame. and my body, yeah.
It's just going to eat lettuce. Great fresh breath and a thin physique.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've got nothing to eat now. Yeah.
It's tough. Who knows? I don't know. I think you've got to be somewhat tuned into that stuff. I know it always sounds a bit conspiracy, but if it happened, again, are you prepared? Do you have some tin shit in the house? I
agree. You do have to listen up. Equally, I feel like you have to take everything with a bit of a pinch of salt because how many of these have we had now? These sort of scares of world-ending doom on its way.
Had a few.
And there have been so many, dude. Now, haven't
there have.
And the ones that you take seriously, ones that you don't take seriously. Regardless, shit works out. I'm a firm believer that you work it out. You make the best of whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
No,
I don't like the scaremongering. I feel like it's part of it all. It's I don't know. You know what I mean?
I'm with you, mate. 100%. But you can't argue sometimes with looking at the pump prices. That's there, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a really good point. Yeah,
you can't argue with that. No. It's real. You go to fill the car up and it's £2 a litre or whatever it is. It's insane. And speaking with farmers, do you know what the average age of a UK farmer is?
No.
This is interesting. Average age of a UK farmer. We might have to fact check this, but I'm 99% sure it's 63 years old.
Is that
so? Average age of a UK farmer? Yeah,
I mean, that is terrifying.
There is no young farmers coming through. Why?
They're on TikTok, dude. They're not fucking digging shit. They're on TikTok.
Doing podcasts and doing shit.
They're doing podcasts with Ben Z. Ben Z's not bloody He's not standing there in the rain with a fork planting Brussels sprouts, are you, Benny?
No.
You're planting
scary, though.
You're planting dance moves on TikTok.
Planting dance moves for likes and comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's all
likes
it
and
is.
comments, you can't eat them.
No. No, you can't.
So what are you going to do, dude? Tell me what you're going to do. What does all this doom say to you? Is it right now? Do you feel like you're in a room with two old moaning bastards?
Sometimes.
That's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Fair. It is fair. I'm going to fact check that now.
It's 59. Is the
There
average
you go.
age.
I weren't far off, was I? I weren't far off.
Still.
Yeah, 59.
It's gnarly. It is gnarly. It's like I don't know.
Who's gonna make you food?
I went to Isle of Wight Bike Park a while ago, and it was like I can't remember who we were with, or they were just talking about farming. I can't remember. I was talking to someone who is like a bit of an activist, a vegan activist about farming.
Okay.
And he had a lot of questions or whatever. And the farmers call them DFLs down from London. And they were just so like, all right, mate, fucking plant all the soybeans. See how it goes for you. Just take this plot of land, just plant soy. Do that. See how it goes for you. Like, farming is something that's like built up over years and years and years and years. And it's not, nothing's by coincidence. You don't just go like, oh, I fancy putting this in this field now. Like, Clarkson's farm was one of the best things to watch for that, wasn't it? Because it was like...
Yeah, I never saw that, but it was really good.
This is a lot of knowledge. Like over years and years passed down through generations. So it is mega worrying because... You don't know what to do. Like all of these fields are all cycled, and it's for like nitrates and for soil conditions and for fertilization, and like there's no way. There's an
interesting fact. There's an interesting fact again, Benny. Maybe we can just have a quick look at this, dude, about how many more soil cycles we've got.
Yeah,
I think it's gnarly. I think it's 50. I think it's 50.
It's really gnarly. But and like
game over.
And like, but that sounds. Obviously, every field is meant to be covered in woodland, particularly here in the UK. It doesn't apply everywhere, but in the UK, we're meant to have a lot more woodland than we have, and instead we have big green grass fields. And one way of re-fertilising the soil, I think, from as far as I can tell, is having livestock there because they shit all over it because you then replenish the. Soil with nutrients. So like it increases the cycle, and it's why that farmers do it all in a big loop, and it's why it's
you do notice, especially when you get a bit more tuned into this. Obviously I'm on and off a farm quite a lot, but like you'll notice how farmers like rest fields for like a year, and they'll move to, then they come back to it and stuff like that. So it is a science. It's not like you say you don't just go, I want to put some corn in here. Here we go. It doesn't work like that. No. It takes years of getting the pH balance right. It's using
so
fertilizers, unfortunately.
Like I found Clarkson's thing.
I would like to see that actually.
Oh mate, you'd absolutely love it. It's brilliant. Clarkson's thing where they had I can't remember what it was, whether it's the wheat, but anyway, it was that they were monitoring the humidity in the barley or wheat or whatever they were about to harvest. And it had to be between this like 9 and 12%, otherwise you couldn't harvest it. The moisture levels in the thingy, and if you harvested it in above, then you'll pile it up and it will rot. It's too wet. And if you harvest it in below, then it will dry out and it won't be. You won't be able to take it to market. So it's like it's so sensitive, and it's so like there's so much knowledge built up over the years, and it's not like these boys aren't putting it up on YouTube. So the knowledge is almost lost when
exactly if
it doesn't get passed down.
Yeah, how interesting. No, you're right. I find it all fascinating, that stuff. And
it's terrifying.
We just take it so for granted, don't we? That you just go into the local supermarket and you go, I want aubergine today.
Yeah,
and you just get it, and it's like it's just so much science and knowledge has gone into producing that thing and shipping it around. And,
I mean, we're certainly 3 examples of people who've kind of gone online, I guess, for to get our money. It's not that you don't work hard or anything like that, but there's something about a skill with your hands, isn't there?
Yeah,
dude,
totally.
There's something about just being able, like,
and I think
EMP pulse, you can crack on.
What I find though, and we were talking about this the other day in the house, it's like certain, especially stuff that's online jobs and stuff like that. Maybe you sales agent, whatever you content creator, whatever. you never feel that, for me, very rarely feel that sense of accomplishment at the end of it, because there's always just something else to do. Whereas with that, you go, right, I've ploughed my field, done. Like, it's done. That job is physically done. I can see it. I've put effort into doing it, And I sort of do miss certain elements of that.
I do as well, dude. 100%. I do a lot of digging is to fill that void,
true,
I guess,
actually. Yeah, you can see an end of that takeoff or landing, whatever.
Yeah, and even riding is, even riding is like, I feel like humans and men feel tired physically. I don't feel like you're meant to just sit down and fucking get paid.
No, you're not meant to be walking all the time.
You,
walking all the time. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think there's a lot in that, man, and it's something that as I've got older, I spend way more time thinking about just being outdoors and breathing in nature and letting it touch your body, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being barefoot, all that stuff really helps with any sort of anxiety or anything like that for me. And I think, that connection to food is a massive part of that as well. Knowing where it might have come from. I mean, we're not heavily connected here with what we do at all, but even just...
eggs, don't you?
Yeah, well, we did. We don't have chickens anymore. Fingered them to death.
You fingered them all to death, yeah, of course.
So we just...
Still a connection, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still a connection. Anyway.
Worx. Davey, dude, you've always said it, I've always said it. We don't want to advertise or partner up with brands that we don't use. And this is the prime example of a brand that we 100% use. I actually use it nearly on the daily. It is Worx. My favourite product is the Hydra Shot. When I moved into my flat, I had no outdoor water. I used to really struggle to wash my bikes because also the bikes were coming in the house. You can imagine it's a nightmare. There's mud everywhere. No one's happy. No one's happy. When the Worx came along, it changed everything. I used to be like lugging sponges outside and stuff. All I needed to do, fill up a bucket, run the Worx off the water that I collected in the bucket. It made life so much easier. It runs off the power share system, so it's all battery operated. No cables, no worries. After that, I installed my own outside water point. There was a part of me that thought, dude, you're just going to clean bikes with the hose. Wrong. I still connect up my Hydra Shot to the hose, and I still clean my bikes with it. It uses up way less water, and it, quite frankly, creates a cleaner bike. So that's my Worx Hydra Shot story, and that's why I think they're a sick partner to have on the show. Tell them how it is, dude.
Mate, I agree with all of those comments. It's lovely to hear that it's probably improved your relationship. It improved my relationship as well. I had a similar issue, dude. I was lugging bikes upstairs, covered in mud. I started washing them outside with the Hydra Shot, and the problem was solved. And we're much happier now. You know what I mean? Life is better. So the Worx Hydra Shot comes in with a 2.5 MPa water pressure, which is a little bit, higher pressure than a hose. I think we can both agree.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not too strong that it's going to blow out all your bearings and you're going to be constantly in and out of your local bike shop. So it's got a compact pistol sprayer, which is really good because, again, dude, I actually use my Worx Hydra Shot to water the garden sometimes. It's got the little shower attachment.
Oh, yeah, it has, yeah.
Thing. Turn it to shower. I water the garden with it, dude. The dream. Variable pressure and water flow control. Pulls water from any source, which I think is super cool. You can take it on the road with you. You finish riding for the day. You find a river. You dip it in a bottle of water. You put that thing anywhere and it's going to be able to clean your bike. And most importantly, like you said, dude, it's the Worx power share range. So you use that same battery across all sorts of different tools. Chainsaws. I've got a light down here. I've got a torch down here as well on the floor. I've got the string for the garden, lawnmower, drills. Dude, we're doing everything with the power share system. Of course, you want to learn more, folks. Head to worx-uk.com. Worx tools are only available from select retailers, which include Argos, Toolstation, Screwfix. Go online, eBay. They've got their official eBay store. Every now and again, there's a sale on there. Amazon, check it out on there. Of course, don't forget to follow Worx on social media too, @WorxUK. Tell them we sent you if you get a Hydra Shot. We'd love to see how you use yours. And that's it, and that's that. Thank you, Worx. We appreciate you.
What a partner. Thanks, Worx.
So did you guys see this? I don't know. We're going to be very, very careful about this. This whodunit that's going on at the
Oh
moment.
my, yes. I was waiting for you to bring it in. I didn't think you'd bring it in directly after the chicken fingering gags, but it is a current topic and it needs to be talked about. The sad and sorry tale of Moriah Wilson is fucking awful, man. Never something you'd expect to hear in cycling. I guess it's not really in our world, is it? To be honest, it feels like it's close, eh?
It is close. This one is close, and I first heard this story on the Rich Roll podcast. He does a really good podcast called Roll On every few weeks, where they sit and they talk about anything and everything that's going on in the world of like adventure sports and endurance sports and mental health, physical health, and all this sort of stuff. And they brought it up, and I was like, it just didn't even compute at first. He talked about gravel cycling, and I was like, oh, he must have got it wrong. He must mean like, something else. It can't be that close to what we do. But it all obviously.
So I
then he then talked about it in the WhatsApp group, and then I seen it on Pink Bike, and I was like, fuck, like gravel riding it's close. It's really close.
I associate type 2 sports like that with much smarter people. I don't associate it with,
Really?
I don't know. I just don't see it as like, it's not the one that you'd think there'd be drama in. So, to our listeners who don't know.
I know what you mean, actually.
Yeah, to our listeners that don't know, gravel cyclist, that's right, huh? Gravel cyclist, adventure cyclist, Mo Wilson was murdered in what seems to be quite a strange story, doesn't it?
It looks like it, yeah. So she was murdered in Austin, where she travelled to do the Gravel Locust 150-mile race just outside Texas, Hicko in Texas.
Yeah.
So she and obviously this. I'll be honest. I hadn't heard of this lady before this story. I'll just be brutally honest. I don't follow gravel cycling.
No, me neither.
Like that. But I
spoke to George though. She had.
Really?
Yeah, she knew exactly who she was. She was shocked. Okay. Yeah.
So the fact that she was a favourite to win this 150-mile race means she's obviously at the top of the sport. Like, she is the upper echelon of the sport. And I guess she had previously dated
she'd had
Strickland.
It sounds like she'd had a fling. It said that it was whilst they were on a break, but she got involved with this guy who happens to also be a gravel cyclist and Red Bull athlete, a guy called Colin Strickland.
Again, hadn't heard of him before.
Me neither, have now.
Brutally honest, but have definitely now, unfortunately, for all the wrong reasons.
Should we start reading through? Should we start reading through, or is it dull for us to just read from the thingy?
You can read a bit if you want. We could just hit the main bullet points and then...
Yeah, so...
I don't really know where we're going to go with this. That's the thing. Like, what? Okay, let's just go for it, though.
No, I suppose there isn't anywhere to go from it. You are quite right, actually, yeah. It's a tough one, isn't it? So, she's obviously had a fling with this Colin Strickland gravel racer. He's been going out with another girl called Caitlin Armstrong, right?
Mm-hmm. Caitlin Armstrong, yeah.
Caitlin's found out. She's then used Strava to work out Mo's exact whereabouts, Mariah's exact whereabouts, and she has eventually what looks like broken in and killed her with a gun.
God, yeah.
So gnarly, and now she's on the run.
Do you feel like
how crazy is it? She's on the run, dude. So right now, in this moment, as we record this podcast, she is somewhere else in the world. Breathing,
and she's taking a flight, right?
Thinking.
She's taking a flight to New York. They've seen her. There's CCTV footage of her going to New York.
What do you do, dude? Like, what does she have that much cash on her that she can keep things going? She's gonna have to get money.
Yeah, it's true.
She's on the
run.
run.
Gonna have to get money. Yeah, literally on the run. Wow, dude, love will drive you to some wild shit, right? Like, have you ever had? And this is where maybe we can go with it a little bit. Have you ever had like jealousy or anything like that in your physical being with a partner?
It's a good question, actually. I used to. I'm not really that guy with relationships. I don't feel quite. I think maybe when I was younger, I feel like nowadays I sort of feel comfortable with myself a bit more. Yeah. But I think it comes with not feeling comfortable, huh? And definitely, I used to like. One of my exes used to have all these dude friends, and you just sound like the jealous guy, but you 100% know they're there for one reason. I spot it a mile and off. I'm a bloke. They're blokes. Look in the eyes. Yeah. You know what's going on.
You know what's
They're
going
there
on.
for one reason. They're not there to have a coffee and brunch chat.
No.
know?
No.
But that doesn't count as jealousy. But I used to just like think I'd never bring it up with her, but I'd just be like, interesting, huh? You stupid.
Yeah. They're just friends.
Yeah, but that's
Maybe.
probably me being awful. I don't know.
Maybe
no,
a
I
one-way
wouldn't.
street.
To answer your question, I wouldn't say I've ever had problems with jealousy. Have you, Davey?
Yes. So I have, but it wasn't so much. Okay, I'm going to be very open here. It wasn't so much jealousy, but before Emma, who I'm with now, my 3 girlfriends previous cheated on me.
Oh, mate, that sucks.
Quite obviously as well. Like, I found out, and like, you know, and one of them. The reason that I want to sort of bring this up, because I think it's important to be honest. But some of the shit that like that sort of thing will drive you to. So one of my exes, I knew 100% she was seeing her ex-boyfriend again. Like I just knew that, you know, it was one of those things where she'd go on nights out and you just never hear from her until the morning, and it'd be like, oh, I'm in Sheffield, like, what are you doing there? Oh, I stayed at a mate. It was all that sort of stuff, right? And I remember this one evening where I was meant to have been away, and dude, I had some issues with this, to be honest. You know, I used to go away to Poland, you know, working, and I'd end up stuck there for weeks, months on end, knowing that your partner's with someone else. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was
horrible,
very
dude,
obvious.
yeah.
It was, honestly, it drove me into, I mean, there's some pictures of me online where I'm like super skinny, and I had real issues with it, and I was fucked up. And this one night I came back from Poland early. It was a Thursday evening. Her ex was actually a speedway rider, so I knew exactly who this guy was.
Yeah.
And I knew she was at the speedway. And I remember, I'm not proud of this at all, driving through Sheffield in a customer's vehicle, and I don't even know what the word is. It's not jealous. I was that scared of what I was going to find, and that like anxious that my leg was like, my throttle leg was like
shaking.
I'd gone into like, it was just shaking, and I couldn't even drive properly. I had to really I stopped. I just had a moment with myself. I was like, what are you doing? Like, this is driving you literally mental. Like, you're going nuts. What are you going to do when you get there? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill him. I know he's sleeping with my ex. Like, and I don't know, man. It's crazy what that stuff can do to you, because I was almost like a different person going through that. It was horrible.
Hard to be clear,
I wasn't sleeping. Like, I'd lost loads of weight. I was just anxious and depressed, basically, knowing that but I think as well, I had like major issues already because of the 2 previous girlfriends that had done something quite similar. But now, like you, I'm just like a totally different guy. But that's obviously when you find the right relationship.
Time, I gotta say, I'm not down with that stuff. I don't. It's telling to me. I probably don't sound very cool, but I'm not very into that sort of shit. It really messes people up. It's sad. I want to stay sucker free. I never want to do that shit. I never will do that shit. I can tell you, I won't.
It's very difficult though when you're like in a proper relationship like that, and you've maybe been with them for whatever. I guess the time doesn't really matter if you committed to them and you're actually in love. I hate that word, but like, you know, you're in love and stuff. What your brain goes to and what it's willing to consider, and like,
I wasn't talking about jealousy. I was talking about cheating, dude. I would never do it.
Oh yeah,
you know,
never,
I just
never do it.
Yeah, I just don't I kind of don't understand it almost. I just think it's like quite an obvious rule that I'm going to stick to personally. But
same. I've always had really high moral compass with that. Always.
Yeah, because
I've done some weird shit and some like crazy shit in my life, but like I've got a really high moral compass with that. I'd never do it. Would never consider it. And I think because I've always been like that. When it happens to you, you really like. Yeah, it really gets you.
Bet,
like,
dude.
it really fucks you up. No, it's all right. Doesn't matter. Things happen for a reason, and you move on. But that's why. And I definitely don't condone what's happened here. But you can see, if you've been in that situation, how you can instantly jump to that. I'm going to kill him. Like, doing it is another thing, right? Like, that's another level. But fuck, man, when you're in with someone and you know there's something going on, and your brain's jumping into all these weird conclusions, and you're tracking Strava, and you're full of anxiety.
I mean, we're all shit animals, really. We are all shit animals, and we're all only a couple of moves away from doing stuff that is completely out of character. And and wrong,
Totally.
and like it is all
Yeah,
fragile.
and this is one of those things. I bet
it's like, yeah, this is
her life's done. Like it's changed forever
Yeah.
off the back of this.
Yeah.
You know, both of them, obviously.
Well,
But anyway,
I hope they all work it out. Whether it's the one that killed her, I hope that she fucking works it out in jail, and I hope that the boyfriend can move on. It's all just because imagine being him. He needs help as well. Like he's cheated on his partner, and then he's cheated, so he would feel like he's got a responsibility. In he's played a part in it. Obviously, it's not his fault by any means. It's not his fault, dude. But it's like you can understand how you'd feel like it, can't you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
What about you, Benny?
Yeah. What did you think
of the whole thing?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what happens to his career from now. Like, what do the sponsors, because do they want to be attached to all the news stories required? Like, say, Kate's whole life is completely flipped upside down. Then the whole cheating thing, jersey thing's awful. I've got a question. Do you think girls and guys can be friends? Because I've heard this on a couple of podcasts recently. Some say they can, some say they can't. Because going back to what you said, Ollie, where guys are fairly animalistic, they sort of know what they want. So do you think they can actually be just friends, or?
It's a good question, Benny.
It is a really good question, and I'd love to hear from people as well in the comments. Like, I really would. But personally, I'd like to say yes. I think that we have evolved enough now that we're not that animalistic, that it only comes down to shagging, and that everything you do is about shagging. I think that there are a lot of people, and I've got friends that are girls, and there's nothing like that ever even crossed my mind. I walk my dog with my mate's girlfriend every single day, and it's not even a thing. It's just just friends. So, I do think so. And I think there is an issue with people doing it for the wrong reasons. You know,
when I was talking about my ex, it wasn't. I don't think that they can be friends. It's just these ones. I know that they weren't.
But that's the thing. You know, don't you? Like,
and I turned out right about it. It's not that you can't be. Like friends with loads of people. I feel like the context changes things. I feel like you're two young, single, good-looking people, and you're just friends. That's quite different to I'm obviously friends with all of my friends' partners. I'm great friends with them, and I would hang out with them, and it's not like remotely weird. It's just like something ticks off in your brain that they become just part of your, friends and family. But yeah, I agree, Dave. There's definitely.
What do you think, Benny?
I fully agree. I think they can absolutely be friends. I know my girlfriend's best mate was one of my best mates as well. They hang out all the time and stuff. So, I think hands down they can be.
I mean, again, a lot of it I feel like comes down to where you are in your own life as well. How age probably seems to be a thing. I know, like when I was 18, 16, 18, 19, whatever. And it gets a chemical thing. I guess a lot of it, the only thing in your mind is like getting laid, like spreading seed. That is the thing.
I was friends with them then.
Yeah.
I was fucking very, very much. I was firmly made friends with them then. I was friend zoned hard then.
Oh shit!
I'll tell you what, I didn't want to be friends. There's so many answers to it. Like there's so many different people, different situations.
But a very sad story, a very sad state of affairs for everyone concerned, friends, family, everyone involved in this, and the whole community of gravel cycling is going to be affected by it as well.
It's pretty gross, actually, the way that it's just like on cycling news outlets. Like, it's sad at the loss of her, but it sort of becomes this like story. Even we're guilty of it. We're reporting on it now, like it's like a fucking thing. Just think about, I guess, it's gnarly, isn't it? Really, selling advertising off this sort of TMZ style. Shit. Gnarly.
Yeah. But again, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, where does this stop? It's for the cycling community. It's news, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
it is. You're right.
Got a report on it. It's like, like you say, unfortunately, it drags people to the site. It dragged me to Pink Bike today to have a look at the article. It unfortunately does. You want to know about it, but
we're not putting it up for that reason, though. I hope.
No, definitely.
I hope that our listeners would know that, though. It's just interesting to talk about. Like, it is in cycling. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking sucks, dude. Yeah. Goodness gracious me. Who knows where we'll report on it when we get more information.
Let's switch gears a little bit. Dude. Now, I wanted to talk about this thing because
since my involvement, even with Focus,
I know what you're going to talk about.
I've seen some amazing. Thank you. I've seen some amazing. What would you call them? Campaigns. I'm going to call them campaigns. Some amazing campaigns that have really come in and like they're just unique. They're different. They are everything that biking is to me. Most of them. They're funny, engaging. The Beat Your Screen Time one was one of my personal favourites. That got me out biking every day for however long it was. I think it was a month that we run that thing for, which I think might be coming back. Beat Your Screen Time. And we're going to be working on that and doing some group rides actually as well in Sheffield. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. But anyway, so there's been loads, like the one with Dave, dude, that was next level. Like that the Dave one ran so deep that it was almost too good. The listener questions, the podcast guest, like it was crazy. It was crazy.
This one's really good, and I feel like this one will resonate with our listeners really, and we actually need our listeners' help as well with it, don't we?
For sure. And I think we're going to be able to help people, which is really cool.
Absolutely. Focus were cool as well. They got in touch with me because they knew about obviously the bike park, SFP bike park, and they knew that it would like resonate with me almost. So the campaign is called For a Better Tomorrow, and Focus Bikes want to help you achieve your dreams because it can be hard. And I mean, if they had this campaign when I was trying to make the bike park happen, for instance, this would have been just a dream scenario.
Okay.
So what it is if you have a dream of, let's say, cycling around the world, you have a big project that you need some help with. Maybe you have a bike park that you need funding, help, support with. Maybe you have, I don't know, I can't think of any other examples off the top of my head.
I mean, I'm working on a pump track
there you go.
In my local town, trying to get a pump track started. So this actually might work for that.
There you go. So at Focus Bikes, For a Better Tomorrow, there's a link. You can include as much information as possible on this for a chance for Focus to get behind it. It can be anything. It can actually be anything from a charity ride. If you wanted to do a charity ride and you wanted Focus's help through their social media, maybe, like you say, Davey, maybe you wanted your pump track and you maybe needed help with a bit of funding just to get things moving a bit. Focus want to help people out. I think it's such a cool idea. Because
it's so cool. Yeah, like it gives me goosebumps a little bit. Yeah. Like you can put this out and that it might impact hundreds, thousands of people that you get a project off the ground. Like I really love that. Really doing cool. That. It's really, really cool. Really,
because we are all in it together, and it's cool to be part of a brand that does cool shit like this, isn't it?
Yeah. I got one of the notes here which has said like, how can Focus support it? And they're basically offering support through their social media channels and associated reach to promote, educate, or draw attention to your specific actions. In addition, we will also offer financial support depending on the type of project. So like you said, maybe you've got this pump track, you're going to need to raise, I don't know, we'll just throw a number out there of £1,000. Maybe Focus can help you do that and get it off the ground and get it where it needs to be to go to the next level. So yeah, amazing. We are going to put a link in the show description if you want to get involved. There's a link below. Like he says, it goes to a page. You can just put all your details in and then someone from Focus is probably going to get in touch. They're going to go through all of the ins and outs of it and see if they can support you. So amazing. And this is obviously to launch their new Thron, Squared, Aventura and Giriffa.
Yes.
So it is off the back of launching some bikes, but ultimately it's still a dope project.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we'll be able to, depending on what it is. Obviously it's quite broad, but hopefully we might have a chance to hear from you further down the line. You never know.
Yeah, man. Again, maybe we can throw that in there. We can help raise awareness through this channel as well. For sure.
If you include as much detail as possible and just tell them that we sent you as well. Just for brownie points. Me and Davey, we survive off brownies, really. Chocolate brownies, and we need some points.
We actually did this weekend. A lot of brownies. Yeah.
So yeah. Brilliant.
There you go.
For a better
Thank
tomorrow.
you, Focus. Appreciate that for doing rad shit to help the community.
Very cool
Super
indeed.
Sick. So yeah, what else, man? What else we got? Is there anything else that stands out you want to talk about? I've got a good something. Lunch and learn.
Oh, I can't wait for your lunch and learn, but I wanted to talk first quickly. And it's a little bit like one of these live meetings on the podcast that we do, but your boy over here is going to be in Ecuador next week. That's right.
Okay.
Sorry, Davey. We might need to reconvene. Yes. I'm leaving. I'm going to be in Ecuador for next 10 days on a trip with podcast friend and family, the Deaconator, and even Ebener. again, who's been a regular on the podcast. How many times have you even been on the podcast now? A few now.
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah.
Two or three or something, yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to be in Ecuador. Can't wait, dude. Bucket list trip. Don't really know. I have a itinerary of things that I'm going to be doing. There's a jam. We're hanging out with a load of kids. I think we might be doing some trail building or something. But okay. Yeah, I'm going out there with two-wheel epics.
Okay. Interested to know, do we have any podcast fans in Ecuador? Reach out.
That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be very cool. I wonder.
I'll have a look at the analytics, see if there is any.
Yeah, do it. That'd be fascinating, wouldn't it? But yeah, the company is called Two Wheel Epics. Epics spelt with an X. We like it like that, yeah.
Trendy
X. So check them out if you want to have a look at what trip I'm doing, because it looks pretty insane. I've got a full itinerary, dude.
Tell me the itinerary, man. Just give us some bare essentials. What are you going to be doing?
So I fly into Quito. Urban single track in Quito. We then have a
urban single track
bike jam, roomy bike jam. Yeah, urban single track.
Urban single track.
Who knows what that means? Whether it's one giant stair set of doom or what?
Hopefully, you're going to be filming. Is that because that's what we need to know? What we got going on? We're going to be doing some vlogs.
Is that what you? Yeah, we will. Me and Deeks will have them on different channels as we go through the week. It's going to be really fun. I'm hoping that it looks like a bucket list trip to me.
Okay.
I just got a message from Pilg as well. Yeah, how and when. So that's how he communicates, just the bare minimum.
Okay.
Hopefully he'll sort of like go into a bit more detail when he's on the show.
Yeah, hopefully. Post Ecuador, we'll get Pilgs on there.
Exactly, yeah. I then leave to Ibarra. Do you know any of these places? I don't know any of them. I'm completely...
Hey, I barely heard of Ecuador.
Here's what I really like travelling in this way. And maybe when I'm older, I'm going to research more and try harder. But I'm so spoilt to get to go on trips where I can just literally just let it happen to you almost, if you know what I mean. That sounds really stupid, but it is like proper adventure. I can't wait. Hyped.
I live in the present, dude. No point thinking about the future or past.
As present as possible. So we're doing, we're doing 3,200 metres that day. Gosh.
In the van?
Riding. Then we're going to Les Chotas. We're doing... Bloody hell. Okay, we're doing 800 metres then of elevation. Day 4 is a rest day. Day 5... Shall I carry on? Is this too much? I mean, we're doing a lot of elevation. 4,100 really? The next day, 4,600 the next day. My legs are going to be cooked. But hopefully, the reason I wanted to bring it up is hopefully I'll be able to report from the road in Ecuador, but if not, we'll need to work out another solution. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough because with internet,
don't make me get a guest host. Don't make me do it.
You might have to. You might have to.
Don't make me get a guest host. Me and Benny are going to sit and rest.
So quick, dude. Yeah, hype for that. I just thought I'd mention it because Two Wheel Epics is hooking up.
All right, Two Wheel Epics. Good shout.
Hey, Davey, by the way, dude, when can I buy tickets for Freedom Ride? Because I'm like,
mate, I
on
hope
the
you
edge
get
of my
some.
seat.
Yeah, I want to see you there.
Yeah, I know, right, dude, but I don't know when they're going live.
No ticket, no entry. Tickets for Freedom Ride go live on the 2nd of June. That is this coming Thursday, Queen's Jubilee.
Okay, but what time though?
All right, man. We're going to have to sit tight and be ready to go at 7:23 p.m. Now, listen, Ollie. Here's what I want to do. We're going to give early access, though, to the people that sign up to the mail shot and also people who came last year. So if you're not on the mail shot, folks, make sure you sign up to the mail shot. There's a link at the bottom of the Freedom Ride website, freedomride.co.uk. So do that. Be ready. Tickets are going to go live a little bit earlier for those people. We're going to give you a heads up because you're the ride or dies. You've been with us from the start at Freedom Ride. And it only feels like the right thing to do. But anyway, most importantly, major ticket drop. 7:23 p.m. 2nd of June. Got all sorts of cool shit going on, Ollie. Let me list a few things for you. We've got Focus demo bikes, Propane demo bikes, YT demo bikes, Fox Clothing, Days Beer bringing some free beers. We've got good beer stands.
Dude, can we watch the World Cup? Can we watch the World Cup or what?
Of course, Red Bull are going to be there. Live screening of the Downhill World Cup from Lenzerheide, I believe it is.
Yes.
So it's going to be a great day out, folks. We're looking forward to seeing you. It's a good time. We've got hot seat racing
Hot seat racing. We got the trains going down the trails, and we've got much, much more.
We have indeed. See you there, folks. 2nd of June, this coming Thursday. Don't know when you listen to this. 2nd of June, 7:23 p.m. freedomride.co.uk. Tickets go live.
Get your tickets.
Freedom!
Dave, have you got lunch and learn, dude?
Yeah, dude, I have. I've got a lunch and learn.
Benny, can we get you on the lunch and learn? I love your angles on the lunch and learns.
100%. We could do a lunch and learn, but Dave's got one lined up, don't you?
Yeah, I've got one lined up, dude. You can have the next one.
Sweet as.
It's all yours. Okay, so should we just do it?
Let's just do it. I love lunch and learns. I'm worried that some of our listeners are sort of like, we're revealing ourselves as too stupid.
I hope I can get through this. I really do. Because can I just add, before we hit thingy, I've been researching, man, and I'm ready to.
Oh, really? You've done? Okay, so this is the first research lunch and learn.
This could be just me talking for 10 minutes.
I like it. Look forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll start a clock if you want.
Please.
I honestly do. I don't think I can get through it. I genuinely don't think I can get through it in 10 minutes, 23 seconds. But here we go. We're going to try our best. Okay, folks. Ready?
Ready.
This week's Lunch and Learn is the history of the royal family. Because we didn't get anywhere last week with this.
Badly,
and we've got the Jubilee coming up, and I wanted to actually nail it. I wanted to actually do some research and come in swinging.
Yeah, I felt some of the listeners were a bit like, come on.
Yeah, you didn't learn anything, whereas with this, we're going through the whole timeline.
Right, please.
In a nice, easy way to digest. Okay, so here we go. You ready, Ollie?
I am ready, dude.
Feel free to interject with any questions, because I probably might not have the answers. So, the year is 1066. Okay, that's where we started last time. We were like, why are we at 1066? That seems a fucking long time ago, but there's a reason. So the year is 1066. Before 1066, there had already been various kings and druids and Pangaea and Stoics and battles and whatnot. Ollie, do you know what a Pangaea is? It's really interesting, actually.
Is it like it's like a animal that eats like bananas? It hangs. It's like a sloth. But It's got okay.
It's like a supercontinent. So it's basically what they think is that before asteroids and stuff hit the Earth, a Pangaea was like all of the Earth's continents all clustered together.
Oh, mate, I really didn't know that. No.
Yeah. So there you go. So the Norman conquest. Before he became, this is going to be tough. Before he became the King of England, William, in brackets, William the Conqueror, is one of the mightiest nobles in France as the Duke of Normandy. But he is best remembered for leading the Norman conquest of England in 1066. So William the Conqueror comes over from France. He conquers Britain, England, whatever you want to call it. So this changed the course of English history and earned him the name William the Conqueror. So William had a bunch of kids because at the time he was chief dickslinger of the times. But for this lunch and learn, we're only going to focus on 3 of those kids. So he had loads. I think he had 26 actually.
So he's a French bloke that's come over and just killed people.
He's come over, killed people. He's took over the UK, Great Britain, whatever.
He's got a load of gold, has he, or something?
It's just got a big army, basically. He's come over, big army.
So he must have gold or riches or something.
Maybe.
Wonder where he
got
that.
Everyone.
Only fans met pay over.
Yeah. So William Conqueror had a bunch of kids. But for this lunch and learn, we're only going to focus on 3 of those kids, okay? William II, Henry I, and Adela. So, William dies, and at this point, there's no real rules for passing on the crown. So it went directly to the eldest son, okay? Who is William II.
Okay.
Okay, so William the Conqueror dies, passes it on to William II.
You have it.
William
you
1,
have it, mate.
William 2. Okay, there you go. Now, William II is out hunting one day and is very tragically killed in an accident by his brother, Henry I.
Henry I. Did he knock him off, Henry?
He's killed him. So, Henry I had 26 children. 26 kids.
Wow,
taken after his dad.
Dick. Yeah.
Taken after his dad as chief dick slinger at the time and was known to sling dick. I wrote this bit. He was known to sling dick all over the UK. And some say he actually invented the bang bus. So apparently that's the start of the bang bus. Anyway, So all of 26 children, only 2 of these children were legitimate. And one of the sons died in a shipwreck, which meant he passed down the crown to his daughter and empress, Matilda. Okay?
Legitimate just means from marriage. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Henry I's cousin, Stephen, actually raced to Westminster while Matilda was in France. So Henry's cousin, Stephen, comes to Westminster while Matilda is in France and basically just took over. We're just like, this is mine, right?
So is it just literally like, give it here?
It's basically whoever's got the biggest army takes the crown,
it's just
right?
Give it here, mine.
Give it here, yeah.
Seems.
So that sparked a civil war, but it was weird because of old times, right? It was just weird. Matilda never got an official coronation, so she ruled parts of the UK, but Stephen had the crown. Anyway, right. So she's ruling bits. She never got an official coronation. Stephen is basically like the king. So,
okay.
You're still with me?
I'm with you. I am with you. It just seems bizarre.
There's a lot to go.
Like official coronations and just like.
What year are we up to so far?
Great question, Benny. Not long after 1066, dude. We're only a couple of years in. Yeah, we've got 5 minutes left. We ain't getting through this. No way.
Let's just do it until it's
Stephen
done.
had the crown. Okay, so Stephen had the crown, but his kids were losers and didn't want to be king, so it got passed to his nephew, Henry II. Okay?
Henry II.
Henry II had 2 sons. Henry II had 4 sons. Henry the Young, Richard the Lionheart, King John, and Jeff.
Jeff was he just down to earth? Like, he was just good bloke, diamond geezer.
Just a nut, yeah. So he's got, that's quite good, isn't it?
Jeff.
So he's got, hang on.
Right. What do they all do at this point? Like, I still don't understand what they are. You know, like,
I guess they just armies, dude. Like, they just have army. I don't know.
But why would they have armies? Well, if someone was
and I feel like communication would always be a huge issue as well. Like, where are all these people? And what, like, if we're in this old time and you walk out the door one day and go in a different direction to me, how many years is it until you cross paths again and go, you're king? What? Oh yeah, all other ones are dead. You're king.
And imagine how many people are like, no, I'm king. No, you're not.
Yeah, true.
I fucking am. I am.
Yeah. Anyway, so previously, up until this point, people basically just stole the crown. That they come in, they just go, we've got a bigger army, stole the crown. But Henry brought in the rule of 2, which meant 1 is none and 2 is 1. So there has to be 2 to be king. 2 sons. So they're like a backup. That makes sense?
Okay.
So there should always be a backup king.
Okay.
So Henry II passed the crown to his eldest son, Henry the Young, but he for some reason rebelled and rallied his brothers to spark another civil war, and the crown ended up with Richard the Lionheart after basically all the other brothers were killed.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to fast forward a little bit.
And at this point, sorry. At this point, what is the role of the king? You know, like, they've got a crown. Who gives a fuck about a crown? Like, do they actually rule the country at this point? So they change
you mean
laws
almost like our queen? Like, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't understand what... I think at this point they must rule the country, right? They must actually have power
Control the army.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what the queen does now, right? She has the final say on whether we go to war or not. She is in control of the army.
Yeah, but I mean... You know what I mean? Does she really... I don't think she really has much
Some things might get slipped behind her and she doesn't know.
I think so. I can't imagine her having conversations about... You know?
No. So let's fast forward a little bit. We go through various generations of King Edwards. There's King Edward the First, Second and Third. Edward the Third had 5 sons, some of which were also called Edward. But the crown went down to his son Richard, who is now Richard II. Richard II has the crown stolen from him from Richard IV. Then there's another Henry, and we have the famous War of Roses. I remember that War of Roses from school.
That's the Tudors, is it?
Is it?
I don't know. I guess, yeah, 14-something.
Yeah. Yeah. So the crown ends up now with Edward IV, who leaves the crown to his son, who is 12 years old. Right? The 12-year-old boy's uncle promises to take really good care of him, but he suspiciously dies. So the little boy's murdered. He didn't stay in power hang on, he didn't stay in power before Henry VII took the crown and marries Elizabeth of York, but then Henry VIII comes into the picture, lopping off heads and just being a badass. Okay?
It's
so here
so
we are, Henry VIII.
gnarly, isn't it? Really.
Basically, whoever's got the biggest army just takes over the crown and they're king.
Yeah.
There's not really any rules. So, he again puts in a bunch of laws about the eldest boy gets the crown. So this is Henry VIII who comes in and he goes, right, oldest boy always gets the crown. Unless there are no boys, then it goes to the daughter or lady. Okay? Then Henry VIII's son, Henry IX, took over the crown at just 9 years old. And then at 15 years old, declared that the laws his dad made were dumb as fuck, and that for some reason his cousin, once removed, Lady Jane, would become queen, and she's just 16 years old. So the 15-year-old boy makes the queen a 16-year-old girl. She was queen for 9 days before Mary I came along and chopped off her head. So Mary had no kids and passed the crown down to Elizabeth I, who also didn't have any kids. So Elizabeth I has got the crown. She's got no kids. There's nowhere to pass it. So at this point, we acknowledge that Scotland is a country, and the Scottish have been doing their own little royal family thing for a while, and they have Edward III. Hang on. Yeah, okay, so a little bit before we talked about Edward III. This is way easier to write down than to talk about. Well, Edward III's great-granddaughter married into the Scottish lineage, which she married into in the 1400s, before the War of Roses, and there was also a bunch of King Jameses. Henry VIII's sister also married into the Scottish royal family, meaning that it was like cross-pollinated, and because Elizabeth I didn't have any kids, the UK Parliament chose to borrow the Scottish king and made him the king of both countries. So King James becomes the King James of England and Scotland. Okay, he then dies, and the crown, we're very close to the end actually, and the crown gets passed to Charles I. A guy then comes along, he's called Oliver Cromwell. He did not like the royal family, and he beheaded Charles I. Oliver Cromwell then called himself Lord Protector, which was like a king, but not a king. He passed down the title of Lord Protector to his son. His son fucks everything up because he didn't care for rules and lost the title of Lord Protector to Charles II, Charles I's other son. So Charles I has another son called Charles, who is Charles II. Charles II then passed on the title to James II, who is a Catholic, and way back when, after Henry VIII split the churches and James II had two lovely Protestant daughters, Mary II and Queen Anne, Mary II married a Dutch prince. So this is when the Dutch get involved. So she marries a Dutch prince.
Right. So,
still with me?
Yeah, I'm still with you. I'm still...
Not really.
No, I'm 100% with you. You're listing off actually the actual lineage, which is interesting, and it can't be... It almost can't be it can't be like argued with, can it? That this is what happened.
No.
What I don't understand about all of it is still who the fuck any of these fuckers are, because it's like,
yeah, well, that's
how they got all the money. How they got all this money?
Yeah.
What is even his money back then? Is it gold? How do they get gold, or is it just like power means you have power ends up?
I think it's biggest army basically, isn't it?
But like, you know, when people say like, "Oh, I do this for a job." I always think like, what do you actually do day to day? Is your job just like, is it like emails and like sorting out this, or like what did these people actually do? Like, how did they have all this money? Why would anyone respect what they had? They had a fucking stupid hat on and big castle, but like, why would anyone care? There must have been reasons.
Yeah.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, totally. We should definitely get into that. That is a very interesting point. So, let me just pick up my story.
Yeah, sorry,
these two lovebirds, it's alright, Mary II and the Dutch Prince William III didn't have no children, which meant that the other sister, Queen Anne, took over. She was pregnant 17 times. Wow. Okay, so the two lovebirds, we've got Mary II and Prince William III, who's Dutch, didn't have any children, which meant that the other sister, Queen Anne, took over. She was pregnant 17 times, but unfortunately never gave birth. No baby ever exited out of her body.
Yeah.
So she never gave birth. So, after all this mess above us, all that shit we've just talked about, all these different lineages and people stealing things, crowns and that, the UK Parliament just did a mass reset because all the lineages and all those different people were always trying to get the crown, and it was just becoming too much.
Yeah.
Like, there was all these different people connected, and there was just constant wars and etc. So they just did a massive reset. So they made Sophia of Hanover the Queen. She was a cousin of one of the King Jameses before.
Yeah.
So her son George I became the first king under these new rules. Then George II, and then George III. The crown basically keeps descending down family trees and lands on George IV. And then to William IV. He had 10 children, and that lands us at Queen Victoria, who is the daughter of William IV's brother, who died before he could be king. Queen Victoria takes the crown in 1837 to 1901. Okay? Queen Victoria...
Oh, I've got an interesting thing there. Because
Queen Victoria's gone, sorry.
Well, tax.
How boring am I?
No, you're not, dude. It's all interesting, but I quickly looked up when tax was first introduced, because it was one way of... I thought that was the way that maybe the royal family would... You know, I was trying to think of ways that they would get their money or not just be rich. Like, I don't know. So tax was actually first introduced in 1842 by Robert Peel, the Prime Minister. So I
wonder how they collected
thought
it.
that was interesting, huh?
Wonder how they collected tax. Like,
yeah, I don't know, but
come round your house, knock on the door.
I guess so. But I mean, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So Queen Victoria, 1837 to 1901. But anyway, Queen Victoria, she had Queen Victoria's son Edward VII then took over the crown after Queen Victoria died. Then it went to George V. Then Edward VIII. Edward VIII then marries outside of the royal bloodline, and he just married this common American girl called Wallis Simpson. And because she's been divorced twice and wasn't compatible to take over the crown, it got passed to Edward VIII's brother, George VI, who really didn't want to be king because at that time it was like World War II. And then in 1956, he leaves the crown to Elizabeth II. In 1956, she was 25 years old, and that's our Elizabeth that we've got now.
Good old Lizzie, 26
and that's
years
how
old.
We have the royal family. So there you go.
So
basically, I made a few footnotes, and basically, it will then go to Charles, then to William, and then back to another George again.
There you go.
You know, William's son, George.
Right, got you.
Okay, so historically,
poor lady,
the person with the biggest army wore the crown. He then passed the crown to his son until someone with a bigger army came along and just took it off him.
Yeah.
So that's how we got a royal family. It's interesting that they just reset the whole thing. I found that right interesting.
It must have been at a bad
this is getting
point,
crazy.
Yeah.
There's people just raping, pillaging, murdering each other.
How old are you,
we're just
Benny?
going to reset the whole system.
22.
22. So in 4 years' time, you become King of the UK. That's what Elizabeth had. That is nuts, isn't it?
It's quite something.
Whether she liked it or not, she might have wanted to be on TikTok, you know?
Yeah.
She's got chucked in there and just fucking made to wear stupid clothes, go shake people's hands, listen to
So that's what we're celebrating. The 70th the Jubilee.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, literally insane. Like when you look at it like that, I know it's confusing, and the YouTube video I watched, a couple of YouTube videos I made all those notes from, made it way easier to digest. But as I was typing all that out and researching it, it made way more sense in my head than when you actually start saying it out loud.
No, it made sense. It's just not that you can't really follow it. It just turns into a load of names, doesn't it?
It's just names.
Yeah.
George 1, 2, 3,
yeah.
4, 5. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy, but it is interesting to see how it happened. And it just basically someone came over, conquered the UK. That's the bread and butter, right? Isn't it? William the Conqueror. And then it just got stolen, taken back, and then we end up where we are now.
I wonder who he conquered it from. You know, who?
Yeah, true, actually. 1066, yeah. I wonder.
David, dude, I don't want to scare you. I don't want to scare you, but in the last 2 years, bike thefts have soared by 40%. And I think you'll agree, in your circle of friends, you probably heard about it happening a lot more often than it used to.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I think we can all agree. I think everyone listening to this will know that when you've got a nice bike, unfortunately, you have to always be thinking about someone wants to take it off you.
Yeah.
With other things, you know, you have a nice thing. You know, we've just seen as well, Fort William, Union Team, all the bikes stolen. It's brutal out there at the moment, dude. With what's going on in the world, people are stealing things left, right, and centre. And we'd hate to think that our podcast listeners would be a victim of such a awful, awful crime.
We do like riding, don't we? And you sort of need a bike for riding. What ways can you get around this?
All right. Lacquer seems to have made the best solution. The awesome thing is, Lacquer does insurance differently, right? And unlike most insurance companies that actually aim to save you money on your cover each month, you see, Lacquer doesn't charge a fixed sum. Instead of paying at the beginning of the month for what damages an insurer projects might happen, Lacquer charges at the end of the month for what has actually happened, which is amazing.
It's called collective cover, isn't it?
Exactly. What you pay is based on the collective's total claims for that month, up to a max capped amount. So you know you're never going to go over a certain amount. And honestly, dude, the rates are insane. Like, it's super cheap compared to a lot of other brands. It's always better as a collective. And also, by insuring with Lacquer, you benefit from cover for theft and damage of bikes, kit and accessories, even during races. Some exceptions, obviously, for pros like yourself, but you'd never beat a race. So anyway, £200 in emergency cash to be used for hiring another bike. That's really good, I guess, if you're on a trip or to get a taxi home from the middle of nowhere. It also covers you abroad for 120 days and protects you if an airline damages your kit. And I guess, again, dude, we've all got friends. They get to the destination, bike's beat up. Okay. Cover and claims are handled by real cyclists, which are usually agreed within a day, and cover starts from just £5 a month.
How much?
£5 a month, dude, for a sick insurance.
Wow, that's incredible. I thought it was going to be way more. We also want to offer a code so that our listeners can get 2 months for free when they sign up for the service. The code is Ride Companion. What is it, Davey?
The code is Ride Companion. What is it, Ollie?
Ride Companion. Head over to lacquer.co.
Yeah. Find out more information there, folks. Don't forget to tell them we sent you. And genuinely, thank you, Lacquer. I really hope it helps our podcast listeners. Keep safe, keep secure, and keep biking.
Keep biking.
Thanks, Lacquer.
Thanks, Lacquer.
Maybe no.
I've got
Maybe
a question.
Just took it. Oh God, it's not history, is it?
Well, it's similar. If you could travel back to one period in time and just be like a bystander and watch, what would you go back to?
Great question, Benny. I mean, sure, I think it's a pretty stereotypical answer, but I am fascinated by the pyramids and how that was done because we've just got no idea how that was done, right? And again, if anyone really wants to learn more about that, I find him fascinating. The guy whose video we talked about at the start of the podcast, Bright Insight, he does these deep dives into like how they were cut in stone, you know, all these millions of, you know, massive stones, megalith stones that have been placed to build pyramids. It's mind-blowing, that stuff. I would love to go back and just see what equipment have you got, how have you done it, how have you cut all that shit perfectly, how did they know to line the pyramids up with the constellation. Like, the whole thing's just mind-blowing. Anyway,
it's fascinating, isn't it? It is absolutely fascinating. I really like those Dan Carlin hardcore histories. They're really good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're really good. Genghis Khan ones.
Yeah,
insane.
I feel like so many places, so many times you go back to, and it's just so unfathomably crap. Like, unless you're a rich person, which just from what I can see just means you're just born into. I mean, the world is still like that now. I know I'm like been offered a huge privilege just being brought up in the UK, where we live in a democratic society and whatever. So it's still the same, but I reckon it's so hard. So much of history was so hard. For so few people, it was enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like, in the Egyptian times, how many... There are quite a few people building those pyramids and not many people enjoying them. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, maybe, but they do think now that a lot of it was like really skilled labour. Like, it wasn't just slaves or anything like that. It was like skilled people. But ultimately, you know, the millions of blocks and how how far away they came from.
Yeah.
Hundreds of miles away, they've got that stone.
Skilled and paid. I don't know enough about it, but like
any of that stuff, the stuff that Graham Hancock's put out. Yeah, Graham Hancock's put out.
Yeah.
Any of that stuff, learning about
it's so interesting, isn't it?
Egypt. So that's where I'd go, Benny. Sorry, just to go back. I'd go back to Pyramid of Giza. I'd stand there. It's half built, and I'd look. I'd probably have a wank.
Would you?
Olly?
Yeah. There you go. There we have it.
Yeah.
I'd go back to dinosaurs. I wouldn't be wanking near any dinosaurs. I'd just go and look at the dinosaurs.
Really?
I just think I'm really interested in reptiles.
Is there a specific time of it?
No.
Or just
there was some fact I heard the other day that's utterly ridiculous, but the time between I think it's the Diplodocus and the Tyrannosaurus is more than the time between the Tyrannosaurus Rex and us. Wow. You know what I mean? So there was such a long reign of...
Have you looked into any of the stuff about like extinction of dinosaurs and how that happened? About the major like asteroid impacts and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Interesting shit, man.
Yeah, it all is.
I wish I was smart enough to really understand it. I have like these very, very basic understanding of it that like I can't really hold a conversation about it because I just get confused. But I do. That's kind of like the story of my life, though. Like I learn so much stuff, but none of it stays in my brain. If it did, I'd be like super smart, man. This would be a pretty
just because you get interested in stuff and not.
Yeah, and I read it, and then I just like nothing goes in. It's really frustrating, to be honest with you. Like at the moment, right? I'm reading a book at the moment about like the founders of Stoicism, like Stoic philosophy, the actual people that created it. I'm probably halfway through this book, and you could ask me anything about that book now, and I couldn't tell you one thing about it.
Annoying, yeah.
Yeah, but I have sat and read it. I have physically put the work in.
Yeah.
It's just doesn't go in. I still enjoy the process. It's weird.
I found it crazy to hear, like the fact that an ice age can be started by that much ash in the air, whether it's from an asteroidal impact or a volcanic eruption, like
because it froze the air.
Yeah, that's just insane, isn't it? Just sun can't get in, and then you just think how fragile that is. Like, just block out the sun, and then we're just all fucked.
Yeah, all froze. Yeah.
Not Olly.
What about you, Benzi? Where would you go?
Space race, maybe.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah,
that's a good one.
Brilliant.
I'd love to witness that, and like,
we didn't go to space to the moon.
Exactly, that's what I'd like to witness. Like, how did we not go to space? How did we? I think that'd be so interesting.
You could go into that studio and watch them acting it out.
Exactly. I saw
it in Hollywood.
I watched a YouTube on the shuttle the other day. Have you ever seen that?
No,
it's got that tiles. The what's it called? The space shuttle. The one that
it's
gone in and out a load of times to space.
Yeah.
And they replaced the tiles because it has to deal with such insane temperature.
Right.
If you think about just in terms of forces, in order to launch something out into the atmosphere, imagine how much fuel that burns. Then when you're rejoining the Earth's atmosphere, you almost have to put an inverse amount of power into slowing it down. Like, just if it's... Do you see what I mean? When it re-enters the atmosphere, to slow it down, you almost have to have the same fuel again to, like, stop it, if you know what I mean. Or, like, not fuel, but, like, reverse...
What did they do? What did they do when they came back, that first space race? Did they just dump them in the ocean? Like, how did they genuinely do that?
All the... Yeah, fuselage, they all, like, disconnected, and then the final, like, return pod just crashed in the ocean. And everything else was just left and landed wherever.
It's unbelievable seeing all the tiles. They literally have it. It looks like a reptile. The whole, the one I mean, up close.
International Space Station. The other one.
No, the shuttle. Let me look it up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let me look up the name of it. I'm useless.
So it's. Oh, you mean the thing that goes up there? And
then comes back down. Yeah, it's
sorry,
the space shuttle Discovery.
Space
it might be Discovery.
Right.
Because the tiles, they can reach 1200 degrees centigrade.
Dude, it's insane when you see it.
Return.
Yeah. Each individual tile can be like replaced though, and they're obviously very, very expensive. So the whole thing is like a jigsaw puzzle. Let me find a picture. I'll send it to you.
Please. That's interesting.
I find that fascinating. That would be a great thing. So imagine how smart you have to be to work on one of those. to be given the problem of whatever temperature it reaches when it rejoins.
Yeah, not many second chances either with that. It either works or it doesn't, right?
Yeah, like the nose cone reaches some insane temperature, and then as it moves back, they can have bigger panels and areas where there's less temperature. That's literally just temperature from the air going over it's the friction caused by going that quick.
Yeah.
Also, the tyres have aluminium in, so on a lot of these, because they reach such freezing temperatures.
The tyres?
Tyres, yeah. Because they have such...
Oh, yeah. Another fact about the tiles.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Want all the facts about tiles.
They're called LS900s. They're so well insulated that when they're at maximum temperature one side, they're freezing the other side, so you can hold it.
No way!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What are they made out of, Benny?
So they're called silica tiles.
Tiles.
Yeah.
And these are all over the side of the shuttle.
Yeah, have you clicked on the link?
Bottom.
No, where is it? Oh, it's in the chat.
In the chat, yeah.
Oh, sorry, dude. Didn't see that there.
I mean, that to me, I'd never realised it was built up out of tiles like that. That's insane.
Wow.
Like each individual one has a shape, and it can each individual one has a number, a serial number, and they can just replace it. Like
there were 24,300 tiles on each space shuttle.
It's like a reptile. The whole thing is like a reptile. It's insane.
That is cool, actually.
Isn't it?
That is really Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that. So that's the thing that goes up to the space station.
Yeah. So that has to re-enter
again.
the atmosphere. Yeah.
And they launched it two ways, didn't they? They did the rocket and then on the back of a 747.
I was going to say, you can see it on the back of a 747.
Yeah,
it's just like
sort of
piggybacked on there, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. What access do you think you get? You know, if you go to NASA and just for, they must do like a tour around NASA.
Yeah.
To see this sort of stuff. Do you think you can?
Yeah, I wonder, NASA Museum, that'd be quite cool, wouldn't it?
I've done it.
Yeah, fucking...
Have you?
Have you?
Yeah, I've done it in Florida.
Oh, the dream.
Yeah.
Of course it's in Florida.
Well, of course that's where they launch them. But it was the weirdest thing.
Okay.
So...
It's a fair point.
Armstrong had died that week. And of course, he was very, subdued and never spoke about. They had the smallest, memorial for him in, the corner of the hangar. And, no one was around it or anything. It was really weird.
Wow.
But then in the hangar, you've got, what was the spaceship he flew on? Saturn? Saturn V? Apollo 11?
Yeah.
They had one in the hangar. My God, is it big. Pointlessly large.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so interesting. Saturn V.
He was 82 when he passed away. Did you know that?
82. There you are.
82 years old.
Yeah, I was just looking. There was some really interesting facts about him in the media, media fact that he wouldn't talk to the media or something, or that.
Yeah, he never spoke about
or something where he said something.
He never spoke
how boring
about
it would get.
Yeah.
It would be absolutely mind-blowingly boring.
That's it. He never gave an interview about going to the moon.
No.
Oh, didn't he?
It's really weird.
It is really weird, isn't it? Let's be conspiracy stuff aside. That is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to tell the world, really. You've imagine seeing Earth from that perspective.
You're the first person on the moon. Surely you'd.
And he never spoke about it.
No.
I wonder from the space station, can you see this size of the, from the space station, what the view looks like? Whether it's just how far out?
Oh, whether you can see the curvature.
Yeah, or whether you can just see the whole Earth. Think about to see the whole Earth, you have to be far enough away, right?
I think it's the curvature you can see.
View from the space station. Fascinating. What?
Space is mad. It's crazy.
What on earth makes you want to go to the space station? I have no idea. It's not. Oh, there's even a live stream of the Earth from the space station. Wow.
Yeah, there is actually. Yeah, there is. There is one. I've seen that before.
All right, I can.
Just on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has the space station been up for now? When did it first launch?
I don't know.
Wow.
We've really gone down the space route, guys, and I feel like we're not providing much information. Just
going.
1998.
98.
Was
it's
it?
been
Yeah.
up there since then.
Wow. 1998.
They're quite crappy
Great
things,
era.
space stations, aren't they? They quite they look flimsy, don't they?
Would you go to Mars if you had the opportunity?
No, absolutely not. No interest.
I think I would.
Benny, would you go to Mars? Of course you would. TikTok on Mars.
Exactly.
Fucking
Think
loads
of
of
the
likes.
content you can produce from Mars.
Oi, oi. I'm on Mars, oi, oi.
TikTok dance
Scream it.
videos.
Exactly.
Did you see that door? Did you see that door that they found on Mars? It's really weird.
Oh, yes, the
Did you see
rover
it?
saw it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Ollie?
No.
Okay, if you just literally could Google
Mars
Mars door. Yeah, I think it'll come up. It's a pretty obvious looking. Well, not obvious. It looks like a door basically.
Yeah.
It's quite an interesting image for sure. It looks like it's been.
Oh my god,
carved
it
in.
does, doesn't it? And what have they?
Strange that, isn't
what
it?
have they said about it?
Apparently, it's really small though. Like, although it looks, like you're looking at a life-size door. Apparently, it's really small. Like, it's not a door. It just
It just
a
looks
rock
like it.
formation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just where a rock's slid out. Or
It's
something.
I love that it's like, does this photo show a portal on Mars? The word portal just makes you just think like, well, portals are such a crazy word, isn't it? You just go through there and you're in another dimension.
Mars looks.
Should we do some?
I'm sorry, Mars looks
listener
shit.
questions?
Dude. Yeah, let's do listener questions. Mars. I'm not going to Mars.
No, I don't know if I would, to be honest. Not yet. I won't be lining up to go first. That's for sure. Let's let a few test flights go over there, and do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't want to be first in line.
Yeah.
So apologies for forgetting to put listener questions up. They've only been up a couple of hours, so we don't have as many as normal, although there is still quite a few. So, is there anything else we've not touched on before we get into listener questions? We've got a watching, listening.
I've been watching the Formula One, and it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay.
That's it, really.
I haven't been watching Formula One, and I'm happy to admit that.
Because
I'm surprised.
Your boy Perez won it.
Mate, I've got my water bottle. I'm a fan, but I don't like watching the race.
That's fair enough.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I think definitely is. Yes.
Oh, I got a question. Will Leclerc ever win Monaco?
Oh, how sorry for him do you feel? I mean, I don't feel that sorry for him in that he's doing all right, isn't he? But like, it is annoying that he hasn't. It is annoying.
Is it? Has he had pole 3 times? He's crashed twice.
Has he had pole 3 times? Yeah.
I think so. And of course, he's born in Monaco, so
He's a Monegasque.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
he's a Monegasque.
Imagine the win. If he wins.
Yeah.
When he wins. Feel like he's going to win, huh?
Yeah. He'd have to,
You
surely.
think? Where did he do with this? Where did he do in Monaco? How did he finish?
Oh, there was a bit of a pit issue.
Yeah. It was.
What an annoying
I
way
would
to
say
lose
fifth.
it, wasn't it? Yeah.
Really? Well, and he was leading as well.
Yeah, he
I
got
remember
pole
where he was
again.
when it happened.
Right.
Yeah, he came.
Maybe he's got inside knowledge driving those roads all as a kid.
Yeah. 4th. There you go.
4th. There you go.
You could hear
Yeah.
just how annoyed he was in his voice, couldn't you? It's insane. They called him in, and then Sainz was already in pits, so he had this like waiting moment, and it fucked it.
You do well, dude, because you've been away in Germany riding bikes and you've still seen the Formula One. I haven't been in Germany. I haven't been doing much, and I still haven't seen the Formula One.
I've had a long drive in the back of the car.
Oh, you got it on there, did you? Yeah. Oh, nice. Good shit. My watching, although it's kind of finished now, but I still think if anyone does want to check it out, it's fucking awesome, was the Ice Hockey World Championships over the weekend.
Oh,
the
right, I
final
didn't
was
know.
last night, and it was Finland versus Canada, and it was such a good game.
Who won
It
it?
was legitimately... Spoiler alert, should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it. I want to hear it.
Finland, and it was actually hosted in Finland as well, so it was like a massive crowd. Finland rarely beat Canada.
Oh, that's
It was a really
sick.
physical game, and the best highlight of the whole competition for me was GB's last game. So Great Britain played. They didn't do very well. They lost every game, to be fair, but they were in it for a lot of it. Like they were playing pretty good.
Yeah.
So let me set the scene. So the commentator's like, right, GB's last game. If they win the last game, they can stay in the top group, which basically means that they play in those international like World Cup, World
Otherwise they get
stuff
relegated or whatever.
They go down to the. So he's setting the scene. The team's on the ice. They're in like a circle. Captain's in the middle. They zoom in with the camera. The camera guy skates over to see what they're saying, and the team captain, Jonathan Phillips, goes something like, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, "Fuck these cunts."
Really? And it was on
live TV. "Fuck these cunts. Fuck everything they stand for. We're going to fuck them up," like something ridiculous. And the commentator's like, as you can hear, there's a lot of tension.
Oh my goodness, really?
It was like midday. It was really
Who
funny.
was it against?
They played Austria, I think it was, in the fight in their last game. Yeah,
wow.
Lost.
There you
lost.
go.
Yeah, it's good though. The final game's well worth watching. Amazing game. Goes down to overtime. The whole thing. America scored 2 goals in the last minute.
How many Finns are in the NHL?
Quite a lot.
NHL.
Quite a lot, I think. Yeah, it was stacked. It was good. I think it was. They were stacked teams. The NHL playoffs is on at the moment.
Yeah.
But what was happening, which was really interesting, was like if a team got knocked out of the playoffs, they'd have more better players because they'd then come over to play for like whatever team was playing. It was really good. So they'd be like, "Oh, this guy's not played yet. He's fresh off a plane. He's come straight in.
Wow,
boom, he's playing."
wicked, yeah.
It was good. It was really good. So yeah, if anyone cares to watch,
that's good watching.
And also, I didn't know. I was on TV last night as well. So Sunday, my Saving Lives at Sea episode was replayed, and I didn't know it was being replayed until.
So it's not been
the messages.
The latest one hasn't happened yet.
No, the latest one's happening in August.
Oh,
Saving Lives at Sea was on again last night on BBC Two.
Okay, got ya.
Okay, do some listener questions.
Let's do listener questions. Actually, I haven't done my listening. It's
sorry.
Maria Tambien, and the track is called Krumbin, and I'm sending. I know, what's the point, man? But I'm sending it to you, and you can put it in the thingy.
Okay, I'll put it in. Mine was Nickelback, Animals.
Oh my!
Just because it's the worst, but it's like a hockey song. It's like really in hockey culture, yeah. And when we used to play, our guy who did the sound only had like one CD, and it was always Nickelback. So I've just got fond memories of being on the ice and Nickelback's playing in the background. So
wicked.
Anyway, okay. Listener questions.
Yeah, man.
Rattle through some of these. We've been going a while. Ian Smithson. If you had to pick one discipline to never ride again, what would it be? DH, enduro, dirt jumping, or cross country?
Oh, it's tough. Well, so I think enduro actually isn't a discipline. I think it's a race. It's just mountain biking, isn't it? So I'd pick enduro because I'd still ride around in the woods, and that's cross country to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess that it's weird because they're all just mountain biking, really, aren't they?
I'm taking out XC because you can just ride enduro. If that makes any
XC or
sense.
enduro are the same thing, aren't they? Or like, not in the, obviously in race eyes they're not, but in terms of actually what you're doing, riding up and then riding down.
Yeah,
we solved that one, dude. Solved it.
If you had a national holiday,
yes,
this is 2-1 racing. If you had a national holiday put on honouring you, what would the day consist of? Oh wow, that's great. That's a good question. Benny, you got anything? National holiday, Benzie Day, National Benzie Day. It's tough.
It's really
Olly?
tough.
Sorry, I'll mute myself.
I'd have a bank holiday because everyone likes a bank holiday. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have to do anything.
We have like the 23rd of some months.
Yeah,
off,
exactly.
Like
the 23rd of the 23rd, 23.
And what would you have? Like, what would people do for it?
They do what they want. That's what I like. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Yeah,
just
it would
the
be
day,
like a
just
celebration of doing what you want, and it would just be a bank holiday weekend, maybe a Friday and a Monday, and it would just be a celebration of freedom and doing what you want. How about you?
Okay.
Chicken fingering day?
Huh? I'm gonna go just like a bank holiday or something, and it'd be like National Taco Day, but it'd be an actual bank holiday. Yeah. So it's like it's an actual day, National Taco Day, and everyone's off work. yeah, a bit of cultural appropriation. Just celebrate Mexican food, Mexican people. We dress up a little
And
bit.
who have we got as the figurehead of it? Davey. El Davey.
Me. El Davido. Did you think of anything, Benny? What you got? Day of dancing?
I was just going to say, everyone
Day of dance.
Yeah, day of dance. Everyone just has to dance for a day straight.
Benny's Day of Dance. Right, I think we got our next merch.
I like it. Benny's Day of Dance.
That's a nice t-shirt design right there. Benny's Day of Dance. And what would happen? It would just be like carnivals in the street or what? Like,
yeah, carnivals in the street, DJs in the street.
And just everyone dancing.
Dancing and eating food.
If you made everyone jump up and down at the same time or in opposing times on other sides of the world...
What happens?
If you made everyone jump at the same time. So like everyone did, I don't know, like the Macarena. They did it perfectly in time, but like opposing times. You know, like if you rock a car, you start small and then it gets bigger and bigger. I wonder if you could ever move the Earth off its axis.
And then,
maybe.
Imagine we started that on this podcast. It goes viral. We move the Earth off its axis. It gets hit by an asteroid in a few years.
Going to an ice age.
And it all comes down to the ride companion.
But when the people in the northern hemisphere jump and land, would it go down? And then when the southern hemisphere, would the Earth then go up again?
This is what I don't know. This is what I don't know, yeah.
What do you mean people are upside down?
What about...
Oh, fuck, I forgot he's a flat earther.
Oh, yeah, for fuck's sake.
Oh, dear.
I don't think you could.
Wow.
I don't think you could shake the Earth in any way, could you?
I don't know. 7 billion people.
It's getting. It's looking like something would happen, right? Surely.
But then you've got people on the sides. It would then do that as well?
Yeah.
Of course, it is circular, Davey, not flat.
I feel like they've done something like this years ago.
Have they?
I feel like there's a national like jump up and down thing.
What, that slide to the left? 2 hops this time.
Cha-cha slide.
Cha-cha.
I feel like there was. I'm sure there was. I'm sure they tried doing something.
Really?
There's one where everyone shone laser pens at the moon as well, weren't there? Saturday, or if I made that up.
I don't know. Was that a day? I mean, I'm sure it was in some people, like a group of 5 people. Let's all shine our laser pens at the moon.
So apparently, all our lifts off and fall down would basically equate to like net of nothing. Nothing would happen because everyone's doing it at the same time.
Right.
If you didn't do it opposingly, everyone leaves the Earth and comes back to the Earth at the same time.
Oh, yeah. But so there's actually this question is answerable on
the Google.
On the Google. And then what about if you do it opposites?
Let me look.
What about if they just said, right, 5 minutes, everyone just jump up and down?
Yeah.
Jumps.
Would it like earthquake? It seems like a bad idea regardless, doesn't it? We'd end up with like massive waves or something.
Like, all of the people on Earth are like, let's just see what happens, and then your house falls down.
You ever done it in a lift and then you think there's not much to gain here?
No, just bad angles if it goes down.
Yeah.
So if a lift goes down before it hits the ground, if you jump up, you won't. No?
Try it out, mate.
So it seems like our question hasn't been answered. Only the question of what if everyone did it at the same time.
Even if you just did it in the northern hemisphere, so you didn't have that counter bounce.
Yeah.
I wonder what would happen with it. It might just be a big earthquake. I think we spent too much time on this.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of space and Earth this episode.
We've done too. Yeah, I think we're all a bit spaced out.
A lot.
Good one.
Matt McGuinness, did the council move the fridges? Yes, they did actually.
Good news. It's good to have an update, dude. I was going to ask.
I got the fridges moved. Well,
yeah, I was going to ask.
Burning question. Yeah, we got the fridges moved, so that's good. It wasn't the council actually; it was the railway came and moved them. Okay.
Okay. Next question.
There's 4 questions about fridges.
No.
There is. There is. At Mick Kelly 91. Would you rather sit on a cake and eat a dick, or eat cake and sit on a dick?
There you go. I mean,
there you go. I'm gonna sit on a dick and eat cake myself.
Oh yeah,
I love cake. Yeah, I love cake, dude. Hay fever's bad at the moment. Holy shit, my eyes are killing.
I don't know. It's just how you moved from the cake. I was actually trying to imagine whether I'd really enjoy the cake. Let's move on.
Okay.
I like cake, is what I'm saying.
This is one for you, Ollie. This is a good one. At Stitz, you can tell we've not done these. They've not been up for long. There's like a few of the diehards are just like, whose dick would you rather?
They come back every week. They get ignored.
Yeah. Okay, we got at Stitz, window or aisle seat on a plane, or if you're a bit weird, do you take the middle? Ollie, you're a
I really dislike the middle. I always end up sat next to two people that don't care about the armrest rules. In my opinion, if you have someone in the middle, especially if they've got larger shoulders than you should give them a bit of, like, somewhere to put their arms. So if I'm near a window, I lean towards the window, and if I'm near an aisle, I lean towards the aisle. You know, you just want to
Have you ever done a high-class flight? Have you ever done a first-class, business-class flight?
Yeah.
Have you? Nice. What was the experience like? Was
great.
it good?
I've been lucky enough to have a couple of experiences like it, actually. It's actually fucking not for me, I'll be honest. When I went to Nepal, I flew business or first, I can't remember. And the person comes around and serves you, and there's like people, they get on their knees so they can be below you, and they ask you what you want to eat and stuff. It's just gross, man. It's just gross, that sort of, like, it's not my shit, that. I mean, it's a comfy seat that turns into a bed, but they say stuff like, do you want me to come and make your bed? And then they tuck you in, and you just think, I don't want that. No, I don't want that at all. That's horrible. Is that what rich people do? It's gross to even want that. You've got to be fucking, in my opinion, you've got to be gross to enjoy it.
Yeah, get tucked in by
someone
middle-aged
talking to you like, sir. Oh, something horrible about it for me.
Yeah,
I don't want to be served. It's gross.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah. But yeah, I have. But I would always go aisle. I think I'd always go aisle, dude.
Yeah, I always go aisle. Bad knees as well. I always like to stretch those things out.
Yeah.
Get the odd pins out into the aisle, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I did go, I went first once on a San Fran flight, and me and Bren were on the flight, and we went to like the bar. It was on a Virgin flight, and they actually have like a bar. You stand up, you chat, and we were on there, and we were like at the bar with all these like, it's this Silicon Valley flight. So there's all these like software engineers, Google, Apple, all these like high rollers, young, smart tech people, and they're all trying to work out what me and Nobby do. We're not forthcoming with information. We're just having a chat with them, and it's just it's fucking so interesting. And they're all trying to like size you up, work out what you do, because obviously the flights are absurdly expensive. We only get it because we know a pilot who hooked us up. Like you'd never pay that money for a flight. It's crazy.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I like that. That's really
it was really good though. Yeah, we were there like doing like it was like a battle of the minds to find out what we did and what they did. It was good.
And that's it.
Apart
from dick sucking, and we're not doing them. So yeah, there we go. Folks, it's been a pleasure. As always, thank you for listening. Don't forget, if you're listening right now, hopefully you are, or watching, hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit share. Once you've hit subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe again. It's a little cheat code, really helps us, and it actually seems to be working. So hit subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe again. We'd love to see your reviews on iTunes as well. They've been hilarious recently. We've had a few absolute belters, so please submit a good review. Yeah.
Oh, we should read some out, yeah.
Last but not least, we almost forgot to unveil the winner of the Worx competition.
Yes.
That's right, we've left it until the very last second because we forgot to do it. The winner of the Worx competition. Ollie, there was one that stood out to me, mate, straight away, and I really enjoyed this person's comment. So I think that's going to be the winner.
It's a fantastic comment,
find
wasn't it?
It's a fantastic prize as well, folks. You're going to, win a Worx hard shot. So we're going to go... I'm blabbering on. I'm really sorry. There was one that really stood out. I'm just scrolling through and
I found it
on as we can find it.
It is.
Oh yeah.
If it's the same one as I'm thinking, it's Matty Bakebut, and he came up with the. Is that right?
Let's go for it. I like Matty Bakebut. Is he in the UK? It's going to make a massive difference to the shipping cost if he's not.
Roll up. Is this the one?
Yeah.
Roll up,
Yeah,
roll
go
up.
for it.
Come and get your personalised and signed Feetinator foot pictures at Dix's Bring and Buy sale. He'll fart in a jar for 50 quid, form an orderly queue. Freedom I like as well. But yeah.
That's the winner of a Hydra shot.
That is, isn't it? Oh, okay.
What? Where's that
I thought
comment?
you sent it to me.
That was on something totally different. That was...
Dude, Matt is going to be fuming.
Sorry, mate, you don't get a Hydra shot for that.
You know, the Hydra shot competition was to say something that you'd use it to what you'd wash with. You'd wash something.
Oh, mate, I thought it was the caption one.
No.
Oh, can we record this bit again? I was trying to help you out, Davey. I don't know who won that one. Sorry, mate, that was second place from Matty Bateburn in a different competition altogether. But the winner is...
Richie Biker. We're going to stick to a similar sort of thing. It's not the comment that I really liked. I can't find it. So apologies to the guy who left this comment. Let me have one more scroll through. I'm really sorry. There's a really good one. Here it is.
You found it.
Okay. Here it is. This is the winner.
Thanks, Richie
so
Biker. You're in second place.
You didn't win. Oh, we have a laugh, don't we? So the winner is Tomo275, and his comment said, "Let me tell you the weirdest use for a pressure washer. We had a really bad wasp problem in our front garden, and I'd read that they don't like vinegar. But I'm talking, I had a really bad wasp problem. There were thousands of them, over 2 fence panels, so a splash here and there wasn't going to cut it. I grabbed the pressure washer with the snow foam attachment, brimmed it with malt vinegar, put my motorcycle leathers and a helmet on for protection, and sprayed thick cloud of Chip Shop's favourite all over the fence.
No way!
The grass and the wife's petunias. Amazingly, it worked, and within a few days, they'd all gone. But the neighbours haven't spoken to me since. Anyway, if I won the pressure washer, I'd use it to clean my bike." I thought that was
Wicked,
great.
well
So
done.
there you go. Tomo275, you win yourself a Hydra shot. That made me giggle the other day, so there we go.
And to the other two, enjoy yourself.
See you. Peace.